Right, hello my friends. This is going to be a bit of a ranting video where I talk about the future of Senran Kagura and on this channel. So if you're not a fan of this channel, some of this won't be relevant to you. But because I can't really be bothered to write stuff, I'm going to be doing this whilst playing Peach Beach Splash, because it will probably keep me reminded of some of the things I wanted to say about this series. So, is Senran Kagura dead? And I want to say yes for the main series, but it's in like this sort of weird limbo situation, isn't it? Because obviously Marvelous are like faffing around with all these like side games, like, you know, Reflections and whatever the other awful games were. The pinball game was actually alright, but I didn't enjoy it at all. I really didn't find it engaging. But you know, quite a lot of people thought it was a good game. But I think most of it is this whole Sony situation of them trying to censor games into the ground, including ones like, you know, Devil May Cry 5. And I think, you know, Burst Renewal was the game that sort of was the game that put the Sony censorship on the map. And yeah, so a couple of things with this. This might come as a bit of a shock to some people, but I actually think the producer of this series is actually the thing that's like keeping it back. Like, the whole Sony censorship thing came out and his immediate response was to just like fuck off. The whole thing of the meme about him, you know, tits alive, ass his hometown, you know, that was like funny for like 5 minutes, and now it's just like one of the laziest fucking people in the gaming, you know, sphere, as it were. Like, can anybody really say like these games have advanced since, you know, Shinobi Versus? Like, since Shinobi Versus and I can't remember what the other one's called, Estival Versus, like those games are just like a significant like increase in like the quality, and there's actual changes, but since then it's just been like pretty lazy. Like, even with this game, it's Peach Beach Splash, I love it, but it's like they let the online of this die so quickly because they didn't balance it properly. Because you can use all your powered up cards in that. Oh shit, I died. Yeah, you can use all your powered up cards and guns in like each game, which seems like really stupid. And with Burst Renewal, they didn't even include any online in that at all. Like, it's just such a weird thing. It's like 1 minute they care and then the next they don't. Go for the kill. Yes, I will. Special point. What, for killing people? Disappointed. Yeah, so like the games are still fun, but I think that whole meme of, you know, the tits are life, ass is hometown thing, that just gets like casual gamers, I want to say, or, you know, people that find things really funny easily, just immediately go for. That's like their appeal for this series, which, yeah, I want to say, like, it's not even, these games aren't even like that lewd. I know the art for Burst Renewal is actually done by like hentai artists, because I'll put a screenshot of a actual like hentai game, and it's exactly the same art style. So obviously they hire people for that, but then it's like, you just think, what is this series like doing? It's like 1 minute you want to be lewd, and then in like your remake of the first game you tone it down, even though that wasn't the bit affected by the censorship, because the Japanese version came out before the whole censorship thing. Like, they cut out the creative finishers, which was like the best bit about those games. I'll probably won't be able to do this, but whatever. Yeah, I'm stumbling over some of my words because I literally woke up and this is like the only time I have to record this video, because there's people like renovating the house and shit. So yeah, So I do still love these games. I want to I still want to do a series on like talking about each of the characters and like their playstyles and stuff. It will only be for the... I'll probably talk about them in the story of this game as well, but I won't go into like the 2D games and stuff. Like, that's the other thing with Burst Renewal. It was literally just Estival Versus, but copy and pasted with removed characters, and people seem to be happy with it. Oh, they weren't in the games then, so they shouldn't be in now. It's like, really? Fucking really? It's just absolutely fucking bizarre. Like, because they're happy enough to repay for them as DLC. It's like, what fucking planet are you plebs living on? And I do mean plebs in like the nicest possible way. And by that I mean fucking idiots. But, yeah. The thing is, it actually got like fairly decent reviews from what I remember. I mean, obviously don't agree with that. Because, you know, reviewers also thought Warriors Oratory 4 was a good game, and, you know, look what the fan base thinks about that. The Dynasty Warriors fan base, that is, because, you know, they'll fucking buy anything. But it's... yeah, it's a bit difficult being a fan of this series in a way. Because they keep releasing everything on different consoles as well. That's the whole thing. Like, Burst Renewal was supposed to retell the story, but then you're still missing out on the second game, which is still a 3DS exclusive. And then like all the Switch games are now being released on PC, which is, you know, good because it goes to more people. But then obviously they haven't got them on PlayStation, which is like where the majority of their fan base is. You know, everyone says, oh, they should cut out PlayStation completely, but then that's like where most of their profits come from, surely. Oh, come on, die. Yeah, there we go. You skanky hoe. Yeah. So I don't really get the purpose of Burst Renewal, if I'm quite honest. I think it was just an easy way to get a quick buck off people. I don't actually think they had any intentions of continuing the story, but who knows? We live in a very strange and wonderful world where everything is different. Just, yeah. So, and that's the other thing with Senran Kagura 7. That was actually supposed to release last year, but then this whole Sony thing, because, you know, they're that concerned that they're not going to actually update us on 7, which had a teaser at the end of this game, and there's been 2 games since this. Oh, it wouldn't let me finish that. Yeah, the 2 games are obviously the Switch exclusive ones. And you just think, like, why are they not re-releasing the games on Switch then? And the other thing is, like... sorry, this video is a bit all over the place, because obviously it's a bit of a rant, but... it's just... how do I put it? Yeah, so one thing I have enjoyed about the series is obviously the first, let's say, proper game, as in Shinobi Versus, that released on PS Vita as like a pseudo hack and slash thing, like a alternative to things like Dynasty Warriors and shit like that. And then obviously the next game was like a spin-off already, so obviously already they were trying to like change it up. But then they released Estival Versus. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I forgot you get friendly fire in this game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so obviously they were trying to switch up already. I mean, every major game they have, like in the main series, as it were, they sort of come off with a spin-off, although this isn't really a spin-off because it actually continues the story, and then this is like the setup for 7. But this came out in like, what, 2017, so already 2 years old. There we go. There's Leo. We're already in front, so I'll do this. Yes, it just makes you like wonder what the fuck they're actually doing. And yeah, going on about the producer again, I would attribute most of the faults of this series to him. Like, just like the laziness of re-releasing the same fucking like costumes as DLC and stuff, and like the lack of innovation, as it were. I have no idea what my controller's doing there. There's something not really important I was going to say there. Yeah, like him jumping ship or at the sight of any trouble with the whole censorship thing is just like, he's there's pictures of the game he's supposedly making with another company. That's the thing, he didn't even like quit this series, he quit the fucking company, which is a bit weird because these games are actually made by like 2 people. It was like Tamsoft and some other shit company, Honey Parade Games, that's what it is. And yeah, so this series has already been passed around like the school hamster, and go for a head because I hate Minoru. Yeah, so we've been passed around a bit like the school hamster, and his new game with this new company looks a bit like Peach Beach Splash, but like they're wearing more clothes. And as an insult to injury, it's going to be on PS4 only at the moment. It's like, you will literally just do anything for money. That's the thing, it's very difficult to get people to like actually stand against Sony's whole censorship thing, or censor shit, should we say. So yeah, it's just, never knew that homed in. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say, really. Just so when we get to the last round, I'll talk about my plans and stuff for this. Yeah, so people do still love this series somehow. I know it hasn't had like a main game in it, a main good game in like a while. And obviously, as a spin-off, this is pretty good. Other than the online being fucking dead straight away. I'm not even sure about the PC version, like if you can actually use a mouse and keyboard, because I don't buy the PC versions. That's the thing is, with the PC versions, I actually got a new card. Cool. They're like a bit of an afterthought. You know, people will say, oh, they should release on PC. That's like their main thing, but that's not where like the Japanese fan base is, because Japanese players don't play on PC as much as like Western fans, and they're not doing it for us. They're obviously doing it for the Japanese side of things. I have a friend who went to Japan. He was like everywhere in like main like supermarkets and stuff. Like the top floors are always just full of hentai and doujins and stuff. Just think, fucking hell. And I'd be like people in like business suits, just like wearing like in there, just like reading all these doujins and stuff. So that's pretty weird. It just makes you wonder. So obviously it's like a different like cultural mentality. Nothing wrong with that. And then people always say, oh, it's these SJWs bringing things down, but it's not even. It wasn't even like them that did the main thing for this series coming down. It was just Sony just acting like cunts, because apparently it was linked to this whole Me Too thing, about these alleged sexual assaults on actresses and stuff, which is a perfectly legitimate reason to like stop supporting something and all stuff like that. But then, like, where's the actual link between that and video games having lewd women? Because it's not going to stop anything if both the other companies are like releasing games, that to say Nintendo and Microsoft, if they're not also on board, then your sort of cause isn't really going to be worth much, going to have much weight, is it? Because I'm pretty sure the Devil May Cry 5 on Xbox and all that isn't censored. Yeah, the why the fuck has that come up? Sorry, something just appeared on my screen to annoy me. yeah, the Xbox version of Devil May Cry isn't censored because, you know, apparently, you know, 9-year-olds on Xbox Live more sensible than, you know, soy boys, Sony soy boys. I messed that up. Fuck's sake. Kill that clown. Yeah. And people say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's only, you know, anime boobs. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, we enjoy that more than like real women. I know that's really sad to say, isn't it? Like the Japanese Marvelous YouTube account actually got hit with a I think it was like a community guidelines strike on YouTube because in one of their many streams for, you know, Senran Kagura, or under the premise of releasing for a Senran Kagura game, they had like real women on it. I think it might have been the voice actresses or something, and one of them was wearing a bikini and she had a nip slip, and that's what like got them banned. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But like, does anybody really care about that absolute fucking cringe fest of like live streams they do? Because I fucking sure as don't. I'd rather just watch the, you know, the games. The anime bobs and vagon. Yeah. So I just want to say, like, these games aren't actually lewd enough either, which I've probably already said because I already talked about the, you know, the hentai thing. So it's in a weird place of where, like, do they want to focus on actually making good games, or, you know, being lewd? Because you probably get away with it on Nintendo Switch because they seem to want to release games uncensored. Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say. Fuck's sake, I already got all those. 8,000? Bloody hell. And obviously playing as the last girl for the last one. The best girl, did I say? Yeah. So I don't really want to give up on this series. But I honestly think the producer and... Well, that's the thing is, with Senran Kagura 7, which, let's be honest, is just going to be a rehash of Estival Versus, because apparently you can only make one good game. So, yeah, I honestly think they've just given up. Because I think if you release a really good game, but have it, like, really lewd, you could get people to swap to Nintendo Switch, because you already got people doing that. Because really sick of Sony just, you know, like, that's the thing is with the whole Sony censorship, they don't even, like, give a reason why it's censored. It's just like, oh, you just can't have this. Oh yeah, I forgot I gave that fucking the pillow. That's really funny. I actually have that Dakamura as well. But anyway, yeah, so it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not really in on the business side of things, so it'd be interesting to see if they actually released just a Nintendo Switch game of like an actual, like, you know, the hack and slashy ones of these, if that would actually sell better on Nintendo Switch, or if you could get people to like swap over, because most people have like 2 consoles. Like, why would you even like, the PlayStation 5's coming out and they're still going to censor that, so like, why? Most people should just abandon shit. And that's the thing is, what with like all the developers that have been censored, there's no like fucking unity. If you all just got together and like just said, right, we're not actually going to release on a Sony console, like, what are Sony going to fucking do? And you have more leverage if your game's actually good. Like, if Devil May Cry, if when Sony said you have to censor that bit of Devil May Cry, they just said, right, we're not going to release it on your system. Like, what are Sony going to do after it comes out and it's fucking, like, amazing or whatever? Just makes you think, but obviously they're going to be losing a shitload of money doing that. But whatever. So, what I want to do with this series, yeah, I want to do the series where I talk about the girls and their playstyles and all stuff like that. The only thing is with that, like, I don't actually play these games in my spare time. Like, I only play these games when I, you need to make a video, or when there's a new one that comes out. Yeah, so it probably will take a lot of time, because obviously I'll have to go back and replay most of the stories for Shinobi Versus and Estival Versus and stuff, and get all the footage and stuff like that. Could probably just make a load of it up and people wouldn't actually notice, because, you know, people think Kage's a good character, so obviously you can just feed people anything and they'll fucking believe it. That's a joke, by the way, because I got a comment saying Hikage indeed, because I did a tier list and I put her in the bottom one because I don't like her, because apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion. And yeah, got a complaint like, sorry, I don't like her. It's my personal preference. There's other characters I like in this game. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do series about talking about the girls. I might continue doing the semi-let's plays things, which I've been dragging out for like 2 years. I know, it's just content to put on the channel though, isn't it? Because obviously I don't do this for money, so... Fucking hell, her eye underwater must be stinging like all hell. To think this is supposed to be the hardest mission in the game, and we just absolutely fucking, you know, wanked it off. So... yeah, let me know what you think, if you think Senran Kagura's dead, or if you could actually get through this monstrosity of a rambling mess of a video. Yeah, let me know. Oh, that's the other thing, like the monetization of these games as well, like they have microtransactions, but they're not actually like microtransactions because it's all random, so it's actually, like, you would have thought, yeah, it'd be a bit better than, you know, I can't remember what I was going to say then. It'd be a bit better than quite a lot of other stuff, but it's not, because it's all fucking random. It's actually worse because you don't know what you're getting. Whereas with most other microtransactions, you actually know what you're getting, like in, you know, Uncharted and stuff like that. I'm not actually paying attention to what I'm opening here, so like, yeah, because it was all with the randomized fucking nonsense of you know, the underwear, you know, the bit you don't really see that much, especially in Burst Renewal. I mean, imagine fucking buying that game and then having like no lewdness in it at all. Oh, I actually got a decent Yumi card there. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is the series dead or alive? Ironic, because they actually included dead or alive crossover characters. That's one other thing I wanted to say. Like, this series has had impact on other stuff, because you've had crossovers with like Dead or Alive and Netgear and Valkyrie Drive, but that's made by the same people, so yeah. Like, one thing I've been saying for ages they should have done is get the kill characters in, because they got transformation scenes. You'd have 2 modes. It'd be like really good, and it'd be certainly a lot better than the fucking kill game, which, god, that's turned into a fucking mess, but you know. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Is the series dead or whatever? What do you want to see me do with the series? I might play the pinball game, but I really don't find it enjoyable. But whatever. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you managed to get through the end of the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, set your head on fire, eat some batteries, and then I will go in a hole and cry or something. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.